After a day of rest, the offseason has officially begun. Let's start the engines on exactly what the Rangers and the rest of baseball are going to do in this offseason. The Hot Stove League begins now. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. So while you were counting the kids' Halloween candy or separating it out and promising that you weren't stealing the Snickers bars, Jeff was busy breaking a story again. I mean, he just breaks if it's a day that ends in Y, Jeff's breaking a story. John Radigan, Jeff Wilson, DLLS Rangers podcast. Kat, the queen, is over there too. None of it's possible without her, and none of it's possible or doable. We don't even want to do it without you. So keep the chats coming. We see it already in there. We'll get to questions and comments that you've made momentarily. But, Jeff, you broke the news that you actually had gotten sooner, but you broke on Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember which weekend. Yesterday.
Sunday, yeah.
That Bees is also out, and the word there is like he really hadn't had enough contact to expect that he was going to be offered a job. Yes,
right, and he had contacted me earlier in the week, and we'd been talking off and on through texts since the season ended. Really, I was like, well, geez, how fast is this going to move? And have you guys heard anything? And he really hadn't, and With the coaches' contracts expiring on Friday, and he hadn't heard anything. It's like, well, if he's going to continue, he's about 60. If he's going to continue coaching, he needs to know what's going to happen, and he hadn't heard anything. So he said he called Chris Young and said, "Hey, I'm out. I appreciate everything. He loves the Rangers and." He was Chris Young's first manager in professional baseball, which, there were sure was a little, I don't know if it makes it easier or harder, and Chris Young said, well, if something doesn't work out, I'll find a spot for you, doing something in the organization. And, but I think, Beasley is a guy who could get a job with his prior organizations, the Pirates or the Nationals. And, it just seems like, if you haven't heard anything, I think there's a couple things here. Yeah, obviously, Skip Schumacher gets to bring in who he's comfortable with.
100%.
Okay. But from a communication standpoint, call the guy.
Yeah.
Say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Hang in there, or it may not work out, so you might want to look somewhere else. And in a kind of a different way, I think that they said that to Mike Maddox when they said, hey, Angels, you can go ahead and talk to him.
Right.
And it's like, geez, all right. Yep. So it doesn't seem like, it seems like maybe there's been some communication breaks down with some guys who have earned the respect to be communicated to.
Agreed.
And so and even if like Bees had called and Chris Young had said, oh no, hey, we got you on the staff. What are you talking about? I think Bees in his mind was like, you guys haven't called me.
I'll take that.
Do you really want me?
Yeah, I'll take that as a no. Yeah.
And my integrity is here. And do I really want to be around a group of guys for a whole year that doesn't really want me?
Right.
It'd be an awkward situation.
Yep.
So we'll get to these things when the Rangers are finally feel compelled to talk about them.
Sure.
They want to announce the whole staff at once before they start answering questions about it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I always say that, but it'll be interesting to see how they shake this one out,
Yeah, how
because
they frame
there's been some breakdowns here.
Yeah. Yeah, because, Rarities is there saying none of the top assistant coaches returning is a bit surprising to me, or big surprise, he said. I think the fact that, a couple of the top assistant coaches hadn't heard anything or not enough, right?
Yeah.
Hadn't been communicated with. That's the really surprising part. And so, yeah, I mean, it's very unfortunate the way this happened. But yes, also to Rarity's point, when we talked to CY at the end of the season, and then even to Skip a day or two or three later, it seemed like, yeah, I think that the top guys are basically in, and he'll get his own guys in various, lesser roles. And as it turns out, both top guys are out, because we know that, and Jeff knew this too, that Brett Boone is not going to be back. Now, that one doesn't hurt, I don't think, any of us as much. It didn't ever seem like, and you can dive into some very, analytical type numbers to show that the offense actually did get better. But in many ways, Jeff, it didn't feel like it, right? At the end of the year, when they couldn't get the hit that they needed to get the guy in, it seemed like, in fact, at various points through the season, it seemed like Boone was as confounded as we were. Like,
right.
I think he told you at one time, all I got to do is breathe on the ball, right? Yeah. Yeah.
He, and really, this was an experiment, right? I mean, when they announced that Brett Boone was going to be the hitting coach, we're like, what? He's not even in baseball. He's never been a coach before. He's doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And of course, we know the name Brett Boone. He's a very good player. He's a multi-time All-Star and an MVP runner-up. It's like, okay. And then he was even like, yeah, am I going to like this? What, but he's like, I'm going to miss my dog, all these things.
Sure.
And it's like,
yeah.
Is he really bought into it? Now, we saw him work.
Yep.
He talked about hitting a lot.
Yep.
And I think some of the improvement was
due to him.
Sure. And I don't think this is like a job performance thing. I think this was just like
yeah, easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
I think so too. And yeah, the way we hear it, Justin Veely will be back. We're not sure about Seth Connor, and so there's that. But yes, the main guys, basically your offensive, if you will, if you make the football analogy, your offensive and your defensive coordinator, although there's more to defense than just pitching, but essentially your offensive and your defensive coordinator are out, and of course so was the manager. So somebody did ask about Rod Barajas in there, and I guess the team, the Trash Bandits that he's been working for, has tweeted out that he's going to be a quality control coach for the Rangers. We speculated about Rod as the possible replacement for Bobby Wilson.
Yeah.
Way back when Bobby lost his job. And Rod has a lot of experience. Remember, he was an interim manager for the Padres when he was in that organization. He's been on major league coaching staffs. And so that doesn't surprise me if that's the case. I have not heard that anywhere else other than when we speculated maybe he'd take the catching job.
Yeah, and the Rangers aren't going to comment on that. But yeah, it does make sense. Obviously, he was a catcher, right? Yeah. But he was the quality control coach for Schumacher in Miami.
Yeah.
Brett Hayes, who was the quality control coach last year or this year in 2025, he's also a former catcher. And he is expected back. So maybe he's going to take this catching coordinator role,
Bobby's job,
something like that. But yeah, that's not surprising.
Right.
I think this is one we felt like was going to happen.
Yeah. In some way, we felt like Rod Barajas would be a part of the Rangers organization. Just again, in large part because of his relationship with Skip Schumacher. So I don't think that's a bad hire by any means. And look, I don't think we're going to think that many of them were bad hires, right? I think most of these guys that they bring in are going to be, well-respected baseball guys. But there's just the and somebody put it in the chat already about it feels like a rebuild. And I don't think it does to me quite yet based on coaches changing, but Jeff and I have been kind of walking that line like, okay, is it a rebuild or not? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I guess we have to see how the roster shapes up. If you can have a bunch of coaches who, are new, that's fine. But if you have a bunch of players who are new and younger and not making any money and you've traded away veterans, well, all right, that's a rebuild.
Yeah.
And I know Chris Young, he said it to me because, after in the call in which they announced that they had that Bruce Bochy wasn't coming back, the mutual agreement. Anyway, he said, well, our roster's going to be younger. We're not going to have as much money. And I said, well, that sure sounds like a rebuild. Or quasi-rebuild is how I think I worded it. And he's like, no, we haven't used that word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't
that's
mean
fine.
It's not. Yeah. Yeah.
You say potato, I say patata. And
right.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. I do think that now that the World Series is over, A, these announcements on the coaching staff should come pretty quickly, and B, we got to start talking about player moves and things. And we should know pretty soon.
Yes.
If just where the budget is and how much they have to spend and how serious they are about contending. I mean, I remember John Daniels saying things like, "Oh no, we're not rebuilding," and then they gave it a shot. Lasted about a week, and they're like, "All right."
You're talking about 2020.
I am talking about 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Like, all right, now we're rebuilding.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, they made their big trade to get the Cy Young Award winning pitcher.
Oh,
and they got 1 inning out of him.
Yeah, and that was the knee jerk move after losing out on Anthony Rendon. So neither one worked out.
No, good point. Yeah,
thankfully on Rendon, they aren't still saddled with that, but it's it just is feeling that way. But again, the player, the roster will do. If the roster is still filled with all stars, then all right, they're not rebuilding. But if there are some trades and the return, if the return is like, well, this young guy's got some upside, it's like, yeah, all right, I see where this is headed.
Yeah, and we're talking roster next, as we thought we'd in the first segment hit coaches, second segment we'll hit players. We know some of the things happening to the coaching staff. We don't yet know exactly what's going to happen to and with the players, but we do have some thoughts about all of those things. So that comes up, and then we do a little World Series recap where somebody sitting at this desk has to have a crow for lunch, and so we'll reveal which one of us it is, and one of us will let you know how the crow tastes. And, of course, we've got our cleanup segment coming a little later, too. But with regard to this coaching stuff, I think that it is, I think, was it Rarity? No, T.O. said, Jerry Jones isn't running the Rangers. You have to let the skipper pick his guys. And we've said that a number of times, and I've made the Jerry Jones reference to when he hired, Wade Phillips and he had Jason Garrett already in as the offensive coordinator making 7 figures. So, that's really not the way to do it. And an owner or a GM or a president of baseball operations is generally criticized if he doesn't let the coaches do that. And I do think that, honestly, I really think that Chris Young was being honest with us when he said, I like all these coaches. All these coaches are in good standing with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring in a new manager, and it's not like he doesn't like any of these guys. He just has preferences in various areas.
Yeah, and it is a way to, it's all spin. I mean, it is. It really is. They knew guys weren't coming back. I mean, if
because you think they hadn't talked about it,
right?
Yeah,
right. I mean, who knows how long they've been talking about it? But if you're seriously considering all these guys, and they're all going to come back and they're open to come back, and then he would say, it's up to the manager. We need to give the manager, the guys he wants and all the available tools. And so, no, you could look at it as like, oh, he's throwing Skip under the bus for this, or I don't think that's the situation, but it's just, they're great guys. They're more than welcome back.
Yeah.
Okay, then Bobby Wilson. Why did he only last 2 days before
Right.
he was shown the door?
Right. Yeah.
All right. There's some truth to what they say. And I told John Daniels this. I said, I think that baseball officials are excellent at telling us a piece of the truth,
yes.
but not the whole truth.
Yeah.
So that you can say they didn't lie, but they weren't entirely truthful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. We weren't lied to. We were told half of the truth. So more coming up as we will keep telling the truth, or at least trying to. We're talking players next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. And it's it's game time. I looked down, I looked up. Oh, we're still in the break. It's game time. You know what that means. The best app out there for secondary tickets. It is the place to go for NBA tickets. You get price guarantees, very, very few fees, and what you see is what you get, and you can see exactly what you get on that Game Time app. They'll show you the seat. They'll give you a 3D view of what your view would look like of the arena. It's a fantastic technology that Game Time has. And, of course, you can get tickets to any or all of the Dallas Mavericks games. Now, you could get tickets to tonight's game. You just have to drive down to Houston to watch the game. But any of the home games or any of the close road games, maybe you want to go to Houston. Maybe you want to go to Oklahoma City, although they're 7-0. I don't know why. But either of those places, or San Antonio, you could buy tickets on the Game Time app. Use the Game Time app and code DLLS, $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. And Jeff, before you begin the PNC read, may I say, Main Street, AAC, Wednesday, Thursday, Main Street.
Okay.
How about that?
That's pretty good. PNC Bank.
Now you try it.
Oh, perfect.
It's going to be too big for you.
Oh my God, John. They're good people at PNC Bank, and they're partnered up with your Dallas Stars, the Main Street branch. Main, notice how to spell, like the mane of a horse, or a beautiful head of hair, or a mullet, as it is. But anyway, long-term growth and patience are a commitment. Something banking and hockey hair have in common, because you got to grow this hair out. PNC Bank recognizes the value of long-term growth too. It's time to see how good long-term growth looks on you. So pick up your free Dallas Stars hockey hair hat a lot pregame at PNC Park. Compliments of PNC Bank November 4th, which is tomorrow, and November 6th at PNC's pop-up Main Street branch. No purchase necessary, one per person while supplies last.
Our crew will be there at Main Street at the pop-up branch on the 6th. So check them out. I'm sure they'll all be sporting the mullet. And
I think Ludwig has one already, right?
Yeah. He'll have two mullets. Luds will have two mullets. And I do love that this mullet is a ginger,
Oh, yeah.
As a father of a ginger and a grandfather of a ginger. I like that this is a ginger. So there you go. That's Main Street. Kind of like Wayne's World, right? Did you get the reference? Maybe you're too young. Okay, players. So, Marcus Semien wins a Gold Glove. Hey, congratulations, Marcus. And for your efforts and your great defense, we are in the process of trading you. No, I don't know. I mean, we believe that's probably still something the Rangers would dearly like to do.
Very, very deserving, by the way, Marcus Semien. I thought maybe the month off would hurt him. Out of sight, out of mind type of thing. But he's a heck of a second baseman. The Rangers had 5 finalists for Gold Gloves.
They did.
And I was very surprised that only won one. I was especially surprised that Adolis Garcia didn't win, losing to Wilyer Abreu of the Red Sox, who was last year's winner. And if you kind of look just at the defensive statistics, they weren't even close. Adolis was the better defensive player. And as we know, sometimes these things are affected by other parts of the game. And I wonder if Abreu's better offensive season somehow impacted the vote. As you'll recall, Rafael Palmeiro once won a Gold Glove at first base despite DHing 90% of the time. So anyway, the other finalists were Jacob deGrom, Corey Seager, and Wyatt Langford. And we really didn't think either of them were going to win because Stephen Kwan in left field was just that much better than Langford, and Bobby Wood Jr., electric player. I think that's going to be his award for as long as he is standing upright. And then Max Fried won the award over DeGrom, and Fried has like one of the best pickoff moves in the game. So that one doesn't surprise. I've seen Kelly, man. I've seen you a couple of times. Bad contract for bad contract. We've kind of talked about it, looking for one, and I eyeballed the Cardinals and Sonny Gray, who's going to make $35 million this year. So maybe there's a way they could do that. And yeah, I saw T.O. also say the Dodgers need a second baseman, which is something I pointed out in a story not that long ago. And they can afford it. They can afford it. So I would like to see those avenues pursued as well.
I believe there are some good feels about Tommy Edman after the World Series.
Yeah,
though.
but he wasn't the one who made the play in the ninth inning the other night. That was Rojas.
Yeah, that's
Tommy
true.
was out of the game. He had started in center field. And again, Tommy Edman, basically a part-time player now. So we'll see. We'll see. But it would not surprise me to hear that these discussions at some point during this offseason are going to be taking place.
Yeah. And that's, that's the reality of baseball for an aging player, right? I mean, he signed a great contract, and we've seen it happen where the contract becomes really bad at the end.
Yeah.
If you sign this long term.
Sure.
His wasn't super long term. Was his 7 years?
7. That's pretty
pretty long term.
Yeah,
pretty long term. And by the end of the contract, you generally know it's going to be a bad contract. And I don't know, there was no signs for Marcus Semien it would be. You just you have to, there were no signs that it would be for Albert Pujols, right? And I think by the end of that contract, that got to be a pretty bad contract. So
Miguel Cabrera is probably
Cabrera is the poster
a big
child.
one,
the poster child of that. So anyway, if you can somehow wiggle your way free, at least of some of the financial commitment, you don't feel quite as bad about the bad nature of the contract.
Sure, and what teams don't have to have money to make this trade. The Rangers could eat some money.
Yep.
Would you eat half, which would be $13 million, or what did we decide it would be $36 million over the last 3 years of the deal? You're still saving money.
Yep.
McJowers, Dalton Rushing is the guy you had in mind. I see you just caught up with that as the catching prospect.
Yep.
Hey, might as well.
Yeah,
hey,
speaking of good feels, you think they don't have good feels for Will Smith right now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Will Smith's not going anywhere.
Feeling pretty good about Will Smith right now.
Yeah.
So, but that'd be a great one. But again, they're not giving up Will Smith. They're not giving up the kid for Semien. You don't think so?
It depends on how much money you want to eat.
I guess. Maybe.
But I would agree that I think the Dodgers through all their spending and whatnot have a really good farm system.
They do.
They always have had a top 10 farm system. It seems like so they're kicking butt on both ends. Maybe it's dropped off a little bit the last couple seasons, but they keep coming up with good young relievers and. This Freeland, the shortstop, then Dalton Rushing, who made his debut this year and I believe surpassed rookie status. So anywho, and there's the Adley Rutschman, the catcher situation. There's just it would help, and I'm guessing by now. We haven't talked to Chris Young in 3 weeks. And we didn't talk to him about budget then, and that was a week earlier. So 4 weeks ago, we talked to Chris Young about what's the budget going to be. And he's like, well, we're not going to go over the CBT, that's for sure. But then he's like, we don't know exactly how much it's going to be yet, but it's going to be less. So how much less? What will make Ray Davis content? and I saw Natalie chime in there. Has Ray Davis given up on being competitive? Ray Davis, his first priority is the business. He wants the business to be as profitable as possible, or to lose as less as the least amount of money as possible. And this thing's losing money because he's, the TV situation. I can't imagine that the Rangers are profitable at this point. And Ray, despite being worth $3.5 billion, he has gone into his own pocket. I know that for a fact on a lot of things, including this TV situation. But it's like, Ray, you can't take it with you. So I do wish that it was the other way around, but it's not. That's just who he is. That's who he was. Before he became a billionaire, one of the things he did was he was a number cruncher. He would go in and set businesses straight and help them trim the fat and become profitable, kind of like that George Clooney movie, like Up in the Air or whatever. Yep. So anyway, it's just not in his nature to splurge. I think it hurts him to do it.
No, and frankly, it's not in the nature of most owners. Now, there are a few, but it's not in the nature of most. All you need to do is see the quote from Jerry Jones last week. There's $100 billion worth of natural gas down there. That's why I'm on the phone with you and not trying to fix the Cowboys' defense, right? I mean, that says it all, and it infuriates fans, and I understand that. And obviously, the Cowboys are worth a heck of a lot more than the Rangers are, and Jerry Jones is worth a heck of a lot more as a result than Ray Davis is. But that's how most of them think, because most of them didn't get to be billionaires by letting their team be unprofitable, or in the case of Jerry's oil, empire, letting his businesses be less than profitable.
Yeah, they got to have. I don't know. I mean, Jerry's a little different because he is the general manager officially, I believe.
That's right.
And so maybe he should be honing in more on the Cowboys, whereas Davis, he's just the managing partner. He's been buying up real estate around the ballpark and investing in hotels and all kinds of stuff. So he seems to really be more of the businessman. I don't think Ray Davis knows anything about baseball.
Oh, he thinks he does.
And maybe he's learned, but
he's on the competition committee.
Yeah, I don't think he's that knowledgeable. I don't think he's trying to tell Chris Young, hey, we really need to trade for,
I don't think,
or sign Alex Bregman.
Agreed.
He's not doing that. It's just the way the guy is. Now like Neil Liebman, once if he ever gets control of the team, might be a little different. But I just don't know. Just the ownership is what it is. I don't think they're intentionally trying to lose or to not compete, but the reality of it is they just see it as more of a business than a baseball, than a hobby,
right?
In which they want to win the biggest prize. The biggest prize for them is making money,
right?
And I think that's just the bottom line.
Yep, it is, and that's how they're measured, at least in their own minds, right? They don't really care. I mean, they do care. I'm not going to. I don't mean to say they don't. Jerry Jones cares about winning Super Bowls, and Ray Davis cares about winning. But then you have to sort of try to quantify how much do they care, and do they care more or care enough to continually lose money? It appears that some of the, very few, but some of the owners are perfectly content to continue losing money. They've got enough money in all their other businesses, it doesn't matter. But that is not necessarily the case with, Ray Davis for sure, and probably not even Jerry Jones. So anyway, more coming up as we will not only continue the show, but more on all of the player situations that are developing during this 5-day period leading up to free agency. We'll have all that coming up in the next couple of days. Coming up in the next segment, though, let's talk about the World Series. And I'll eat some crow.
Mm.
What do you put on crow again? Is it
Hot sauce.
barbecue? Hot sauce. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Supporters Club, we'd love you to join it. It's a great place to be, and it's a great find, and it's a great invention, and we've just invented it, as you can see, this year, 25. We started the Supporters Club, and you can get a look at some true sicko-level stuff. Kat was suggesting that I get a Bobby Gorella type haircut because of what I have predicted that we'll get to in just a moment. So if I ever did, which I don't think I will, but if I did, we'd have that behind the scenes, right? That's the kind of stuff we would put back there, and you can get a look at it for either $15 or $5. It's the Supporters Club. You've got a chance to support us and a chance to see what the heck goes on around here behind the scenes on any given day, and some of it really is sicko level stuff, like the day that the hair hats arrived. Man, we're kids around here like kids in a candy store, Jeff.
That's right. The newsletter, we're asking you to sign up for that. I'm sure some of you have already. If not, it's so easy to do. You go to alldls.com, go to the very bottom of the page. It says, hey, sign up for our newsletter. Just put in your email address right there, hit the submit button, and voila, you will suddenly be getting, maybe not suddenly, but whenever they're available, into your inbox will go the news of the DLS newsletter, which is produced by our man Ali. When he's not doing cowboy stuff, or in addition to his cowboy stuff, he's pretty prolific. I just read about the Mavs.
Yeah,
Mexico City.
Yeah,
who knew? And but there was a nugget on all of the teams that we cover, and it had some links to like our podcasts, because it's not just the Rangers here. It's all four of the sports, the three other sport teams in our area that are in the major sports leagues. And we just have a good time at our DLS, and we want you to continue to revel in it.
Yeah, so Tony, I appreciate you. Came close to not eating the crow. That bottom of the ninth, he says, and aren't we too familiar? And we are. Again, what happened in the bottom of the ninth to Blue Jays fans was still not as bad as what happened in the bottom of the ninth to Rangers fans, or the bottom of the 10th of Game 6, because again, the Rangers had taken the lead in extra innings. So it was worse. It's a worse, more bitter pill for us, because again, it was winning the World Series or not. And that's what the Blue Jays didn't do, which not only surprises me, it shocks me ever since March. Dodgers ain't winning it.
All right.
For all this hype and all this money they've spent, Dodgers aren't winning the World Series. Number one, the Dodgers. So annoying. They're number one in everything. But you know what's going to be fun? Here's the thing that's going to be fun about that. I'll make this prediction right now. They're not winning the World Series.
Whoa.
Yep. Dodgers ain't winning it.
All right.
For all this hype and all this money they've spent, Dodgers aren't winning the World Series.
March 14th
Yep.
at 12:39 p.m.
Yep. Mark it down.
Okay.
They're not winning. He did mark it down. The prophet was still with us then, and I see the way he cut that, he had the worst part twice, right?
Yeah.
He starts and ends with the same thing, which is the Dodgers ain't winning it. And, Tony, you're right. I was so close to being right, and I must admit, in part because of March 14th at 12:39 p.m., I was rooting during a game harder than I ever root for two teams I have no real vested interest in. Yeah, so I was a big fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, not only Saturday but really the whole series.
Yeah, first of all, great series.
It was.
Only one probably game that would rate as a stinker, maybe two that were not super competitive. Of course, you had that 18% or 18 inning guy game 3, which the Blue Jays did a tremendous job bouncing back from, but then they went back to Toronto where they couldn't win either game. Friday night was Game 6, which Yamamoto became the World Series MVP. Pitched pretty well, not as good, and ended with the Blue Jays getting doubled off at second base.
Right.
that's important because one of the criticisms in the aftermath of the Blue Jays loss in Game 7 was that our pal, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, did not have a big enough secondary lead on the play, the ground ball to Rojas, where he speared it and was stumbling backwards and still threw. It's a shame because IKF, Isaiah, as I like to call him, had received some threats about people breaking his legs and doing harm to him because he didn't have a big secondary lead. Well, Isaiah explained it. He's like, look, here's the situation. The coaches didn't want me to get a big lead because they didn't want me to get doubled off. What if a line drive had been hit to Muncy, who was playing in and right on the bag? Threat's over,
right?
And a lot of people who are former players and whatnot have been quick to defend him, including Dallas Brayton, who's a A's broadcaster now. He had a pretty good series of tweets about the situation, and Isaiah basically was doing what the coaches were telling him.
Yes.
And how would you like, the Blue Jays would not have lost the game had he been doubled off. But the night before, Barger got too big of a secondary lead on what he thought was a flare to left field that wasn't going to fall. Once he realized it wasn't going to fall, he wasn't getting, he couldn't get back in time, and he was the tying run. So get off of this thing, all right? Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was doing exactly what his coaches were telling him. It's not like these guys just do whatever they want. They are coached.
Right.
They are told what to do and what not to do. So, all right, Tio saying the jump. All right, maybe you got a bad jump. All right, that's fine. But to think you know the game at a different level than what was being put into Isaiah's ear and what a lot of baseball people have since backed up and defended, lay off of that.
Yeah, and certainly, and I know nobody in our chat would do this, but, I said to Jeff, I thought the dang Canadians were a friendly bunch. I didn't know the Canadians are out there giving him death threats and threatening to break his legs, for God's sake. It's a game.
Yeah, we when the Rangers lost in 2015 to the Blue Jays in the division series, and talked about the bat flip and like the Rangers afterwards, Cole Hamels addressed it and was very polite about it. He didn't MF anybody, or he said we just preferred that's not how we like the game to play. We thought it was out of line. Man, I tweeted that, and you wouldn't have believed the hate that
really
just poured out in response to that. Like, oh, you guys are from Texas, you're fat and the home of George Bush, and all this stuff. And there was even a Blue Jays, a columnist, I don't know for what paper up there, who was giving it to me. I was like,
really?
what are you talking about, man? I mean, just lay off.
Yeah.
He's I'll put my knowledge of the game up against yours. I'm like, I don't give a crap. All right. I just this is where it is right here. I mean, I have nothing to do with this. Why are you like this? Why are you people like this? I mean, it was a lot of vitriol.
Interesting.
And of course, after the Odor situation and then the sweep in 2016, it kind of came out again. Like, let's go, people. Clean it up.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
Please clean it up. Couple of things. Ernie Clement was unbelievable. I mean, raise your hand if you'd heard of Ernie Clement, before the series. I mean, he was not a household name, even in the Clement household, and yet he had 30 hits, Jeff. 30
terrific.
Hits in the postseason.
And it was almost 31. Give the Dodgers some credit. So they made some plays when they had to, and Andy Pages basically going into left field. Forget left center.
Yeah.
He went into left field and reached up and knocked Kike Hernandez out of the way and made a huge catch as the play of the game.
Yep.
Because if he had just been inserted in that inning, if he doesn't make that play, Hernandez is not catching that ball.
No.
He was Willie Mays.
Yeah.
It would have been a Willie Mays situation. He wasn't catching it. So good for them. And, give Dave Roberts some credit as well, because, once in the 11th, when Kiner Falefa bunted Vladdy Jr. over to third, 1 out. Intentional walk to Barger, I believe. It was pretty good.
Yes.
Now there are some people who are like, hey, let's not bunt, let's not give away outs. Gave away an out. Well, thank you, but he was like had 1 hit in the series, so he's not going to get a hit there anyway. Dave Roberts, they elected to walk Barger to bring up Alejandro Kirk,
Right.
which was kind of interesting because Kirk puts the bat on the ball a lot, right? But he's also just, if he hits it on the ground,
Slow.
it is a double play. He got thrown out by Wilyer Abreu at first base this season.
From right field.
All right? So he's not fast. So they were gambling that he was going to hit the ball on the ground right at an infielder. And guess what? He hit it right to Mookie Betts.
Yep.
And that was it. So give Dave Roberts some credit here. And how about, just using Yamamoto?
I was just going to say the same
the
thing.
guy threw almost 100 pitches the night before.
God.
And
Guy's
just
arm is going to fall
put him
off.
in there. So
he did. And his arms were so tired afterwards, he needed help lifting the World Series trophy. He really did. I mean, his arm, oh my gosh, just completely dead. Dave Roberts, though, always seems to be, I don't know, just not respected like he should be in Los Angeles and certainly around baseball. But look at the graphic here. Dave Roberts in the list of most career postseason wins. Torrey, La Russa, Roberts. One of the reasons I wanted to put this up there, too, is our buddy Bruce Bochy is on there. With 57. He and Dusty Baker. So, that's a pretty impressive list. But look, Dave Roberts, those were in-game decisions that he had to make. And he made them, just right.
Well, and if you want to go back to I think it was the division series when they ran that wheel play.
Yes.
Got the out at third. That was a huge play.
Yes.
And that's something that the manager decides.
It is.
Andrew Freeman's not calling down there and saying, hey, what do you think about the wheel play here?
Yeah.
That's up to the manager. So good for Dave.
Really good for Dave. I saw somebody in the chat already saying they were watching the Dodgers parade and loved seeing Clayton Kershaw celebrate. And the reality is, for those of us in North Texas, I loved seeing Clayton Kershaw get every moment that he got during this World Series. As much as I was rooting for the Blue Jays, that is a part that, softens me for the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw is such a good guy. He's such a great representative of baseball. He's a guy who played for only one team in this day and age. It's unheard of. Yeah. And he is, and he's a very proud North Texan. He'll be back here soon, and he will be, helping out in our community. So, and, just to see him with his wife and his kids and having so much fun. There was one picture, I think it was at the Rams game yesterday, and all of Matt Stafford's kids were wearing Kershaw's.
Oh, that's cool. Well, they're
jerseys.
Good buddies from high school.
Yeah, they were in high school together.
Yeah. And so that's fun. You never hear anybody say anything bad about Clayton Kershaw. And it was interesting. He warmed up in Game 7. I was like, ooh, wow. What situation will they put him in? So anyway, hey, great. Good for him. Fantastic career. And now, in 5 years, he's going to be an easy first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot guy. And to your point, too, about Yamamoto, I kept thinking that they were going to need another pick. There's no way and no thought in my mind he could go 2 2/3, right?
Right.
I mean, I thought, okay, they'll use him for an inning and he'll baffle everybody. And then they're going to have to go with someone else. Would have been interesting to see if that thing had gone to the 12th. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. And, he was pumping it up there too. It was 95, 97. And the split was still a good pitch. I did like how the Blue Jays approached Ohtani to start the game. They made him work, and then Bichette hit the home run, and of course the Bichette being unable to run again played a factor in this game, like it did back in Game 3 with the pinch running situation, and his inability to score 4th or 5th inning on a single from second. that was a big deal, and then he is the one who was, Isaiah ran for him.
Yep.
And anyway, there we are.
Yeah. It was a great season. It was a great baseball season, and we're sad. Kelly, all about Sports Zone. Kershaw announced as Rangers pitching coach. Not so much. But a great season, and it's over. A little bit more to talk about with regard to it and the playoffs, and lots of cleanup to do next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. And it's time for you to become a diehard. As we mentioned, was the Beasley story out there for free?
It was not for free.
Yeah, see, so if you wanted to know about bees, you had to pay for that one. Jeff threw everybody a bone, and he put out the Maddox story for free. But the Beasley story, not so much. There will be more coming. Jeff will be breaking news, as will our other beat writers for all of our other teams. Ron, for the Mavs, broke a story last week. That's what we do around here. We just break stories. The Cowboys, the Stars have their own beat writers, and they're all cranking right now. Cowboys, of course, play tonight against Kyler Murray, who's undefeated at AT&T Stadium, and the rest of his Arizona Cardinals. So anyway, you need to be a diehard to avail yourself to all the things that we write that is put behind a paywall. You also need to do that so that you can get 20% off merchandise. You can get 20% off all of our events. We'll be having more and more of those in the near future. Become a diehard today. Scan the QR code or go to alldlls.com/join.
Free T-shirt at store.allcitynetwork.com. That's what you get when you become a diehard. And full disclosure here, John and I are wearing the same shirt today.
Yes, we are. Hasn't happened often.
No. But it's hoodie and light jacket season, pullover season for me. So, generally speaking, you're not going to see my T-shirts again until next summer.
Yeah,
probably.
May.
Maybe just July and August only. But these are great things, and John and I have more than a dozen apiece. Also, it's sweatshirt weather, and you've seen me already break out the sweatshirts. Well, it's going to be a little toasty this week, John, for
back
early
up in
November.
The 80s.
Yeah,
yep.
And that's fine. But please, after you become a diehard, go to store.allcitynetwork.com and go crazy.
There was I guess you'd call it a meme, on one of the social medias that said that which was true, the Game 7 of the World Series drew 25 million plus, maybe almost 26 million. And Game 7 of the NBA Finals, which was won by the Oklahoma City Thunder, drew like 16 or 17 million. And so everybody is wanting to always say, baseball's dying. It's something like the NBA that's doing this. And those numbers belie that. Now, one of the things is Oklahoma City is a super small market.
Pretty small.
And the other thing is that LA is not. And the other thing is that you had the international. I don't know if those 25 million had any. I don't think they did. I think that was just on Fox.
But
then you add in Japan and Sportsnet, Rogers Center thing. Yeah, numbers had to be huge.
Yeah, the Canadian viewership numbers do not count in
America.
In American ratings. Whether is that still Nielsen? Is that still?
I think it might still be. Yeah.
But anyway, those don't count. So good for baseball. Sure they always want the two biggest markets, or three of the.
Yeah,
they would have taken the Cubs against the Blue Jays,
and yet this one
out. They would have wanted Dodgers, Yankees.
Yeah, this one out drew last year,
right?
Though.
So pretty good.
Yeah, good numbers. It was a great postseason. There were 7 winner-take-all series games. That's 2 more than ever before.
Wow.
So, and they were. I mean, so many of them were. I mean, that Tigers Mariners winner-take-all was silly exciting. Went into the wee hours of the night. The Blue Jays Mariners winner take all.
Right.
Silly exciting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good
there
games.
were some really, really good games throughout the course of these playoffs. So, we'll miss baseball, but it ended this season ended with a flourish, ended really well. We mentioned the Gold Gloves earlier. We didn't run through the list and don't necessarily need to. You can see that. But I did note that Patrick Bailey and Logan Webb are the first battery, so from the same team, the Giants guys, are the first pitcher-catcher to win since 2009. Now, 7 times this has happened, counting this year, with 7 different teams.
Oh, okay.
But only 6 combinations of players.
Oh.
And you go, how the heck did that happen?
I got you.
Yeah.
I know where you're going on this.
So this happened, in fact, it happened twice with former Rangers Kenny Rogers and Ivan Pudge Rodriguez, who did that in 2000 with the Texas Rangers and 2006 with the Detroit Tigers.
There you go.
Which was a World Series year. And Pudge went on to win another one. I didn't know he was still winning. He won another one in 2007.
Okay.
This dude started winning Gold Gloves in 91 or 92.
That's crazy.
And he's still winning them in 2007 for the Tigers. But no wonder he got first ballot Hall of Famer. Unbelievable career for Pudge Rodriguez, and so much fun, to have all of us who, were any part of it at all. Really cool. Okay, so 99 days, Jeff. 99 days till pitchers and catchers report.
What day do they have there?
Well, it's 144 days to opening day now.
So that you're subtracting the 45.
Yeah. There's the 45. So you do have I think there's an opening night. So
I believe you're right.
Yeah, so that might be one less because that's the night before opening day. But I think the true opening day is 144 days from right now.
Is there any Japan games or Korea games?
I don't think so. Not this year because again we got the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, which also that's good baseball that we'll be able to see long before. I don't know long, but a month before.
Yeah. Now I do wonder. Those guys have to start a little earlier.
They do,
especially the pitchers. The hitters don't, but the pitchers start a little earlier. And then, if memory recalls, there's an extra off day
during the spring training.
Okay, so I don't know if that means maybe they'll start even a day or two earlier, or if it means they'll just wheel it in there. At some point.
I'm trying to remember. So, what did Martin Perez do? Did he just start cranking up earlier that year? That the last time when he was
throwing
at
home, and Mitch Bratt, who was traded at the deadline, he was pitching for Canada.
Yep.
So he was they like when I'm just grabbing a pitcher out of the air. Nathan Eovaldi was at 3 innings. Martin was at 5.
Okay.
When he was throwing. So Martin started throwing live batting practice before anybody else and stuff like that.
So Martin was coming in throwing seeds.
That's right.
When everybody else is doing long toss.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Now let's clean up Halloween just a little bit. Many of you may have seen this, but in case you didn't, let's show you how Corey Seager looked on Halloween. Look at that. With their sweet new little baby boy, and you got 2 Cookie Monsters.
Yeah, I don't think the baby, God bless him, he's not even a month old. I don't think so.
You don't think he knows what's going on?
Nope, no. That's fine. I don't think Corey does either. He is smiling though, but kind of looks like his eyes are a little closed.
Yeah, he's kind of got the closed eye smile working, but not surprisingly,
you'll do anything for your kids, like dress up as Cookie Monster.
You will,
yeah.
And not surprisingly, the Seegers were able to afford a really nice and authentic Cookie Monster and baby Cookie Monster costume.
Yeah,
They may have been custom made.
Somehow in these trying economic times, they're sneaking by.
Somehow they were able. They probably called Sesame Street and said, "Can we get you guys to make one of these for us? We need one as a baby, and one as Corey Seager's size." All right, there couldn't be a more perfect Halloween costume for this guy than Prince Charming, Evan Carter.
Hey.
Oh. Evan, look at Evan Carter. I mean, is he at Disney World? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I swear he is right out of Disneyland with his lovely wife as Cinderella. And yeah, there you go, Evan Carter. I mean, again, once again, like they didn't make that costume.
Right.
Like we used to, half the time when we'd go out for Halloween, we'd just look at, my dad's old clothes that he was throwing away and go as a bum, But he didn't.
My sister was a bum once.
Yeah.
I was Han Solo like 4 straight years.
Well, you get a good one and you stick with it. But I don't think that the Carters made the Cinderella and the Prince Charming costume.
If you looked closely, it appeared as though his right hand was no longer in his the brace.
Nice.
Yeah, he's holding a phone there, no brace.
No
so
brace.
hopefully
Because
Evan is cranking and doing stuff.
The integrity of the jacket sleeve would have been
you would have known. Yeah,
had
his
he had
arm
the
would have been
brace
bent a
on.
little.
Yeah,
maybe I don't know.
Very good. That's a good catch. Way to notice the little things.
Yeah.
And then our friend Nathan Evaldi. There you go, Evo, going out with a llama and all that.
Oh, that's a Fortnite costume.
Okay.
Yeah, the llama is the big, chest where you get a lot of good stuff, and then the banana is a character in the game. Now,
Is it? Okay, so
I don't know if that's his wife or his son.
seems like it might
looks
be
like
his
wife. I don't know.
Hard to say. Yeah, it's,
I don't know.
she
Crocs though.
sure?
Crocs are generally a kid's thing.
Yeah, that's a good question though.
Yeah.
It didn't say in the tweet, but anyway, cool, and that's amazing. Congrats to Seeger. Yeah, no doubt about that. Mike, not Maddox. Boy, yeah, are you changing the name now? It's a very
No, you got to
interesting
stick with the
question.
name.
Yeah, you really do. Got to stay with it forever. Paying tribute to our buddy Mike Maddox. So anyway, Halloween is fun, and it was obviously fun for the Rangers and should be, right?
Yeah. It makes me think about in 23, the team was on the road in the World Series. And so Chris Young's wife, Liz, helped organize, because this had happened with when Chris was playing for the Royals. And they organized, I guess it was at the hotel, but like a trick or treat station for all the kids that were there to walk and make sure they got candy and dress up and have fun. So that was pretty cool. And then they went out and won Game 4 handily.
Yeah.
And sprinting out to like an 11-0 lead.
Yep.
And it got maybe a little bit closer, but I won't forget afterwards, we're walking around and asking our dumb questions like we normally do. It's like, well, what do you got to do to get ready, Nathaniel Lowe, for Game 5? He said, hydrate. We need to hydrate. So he was planning to win Game 5 and then get bombed afterwards, which it turns out is what happened.
Exactly
for a lot
what
of them.
happened.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he did hydrate, and I'm sure it helped.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that it is an interesting time of year for the playoffs to take place when you have, because they all have little kids, right?
Yeah.
And they all had little kids with them because
Right.
they're not going to leave them home. Holly says it was his son,
All right.
son. So that's
Thank
good.
you, Holly.
Yeah, that's really good. We'll believe that. And yes, Fortnite is probably not something he plays with the wife. Probably plays it with the kid.
Yeah. And Henry, my son, is playing Fortnite again. I guess that they now have right now a season. I don't know how they do it, but right now it's Simpsons characters
Oh wow!
are in Fortnite. Yeah. So I haven't seen it. I don't know if you can be Homer, or if Homer's a good guy or a bad guy, or if Mr. Burns is an evil bad guy.
Well, and if they'll even look like that, because by the way, Kat, let's go back to the Evo picture. That doesn't look like a llama to me at all.
Yeah. Well, but it's the colors of the llama in the game. Yeah.
That doesn't look like a llama. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw it. The red-haired kid, that funny movie. Eat your food, you stupid llama.
Oh yeah. Napoleon
Dynamite. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. I know what a llama looks like. Eat your food, you stupid llama. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they are?
Are they?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so it's supposed to be like a piñata llama. That's not easy to say.
All right.
Not easy to say.
Well, let's close this one out. My head's starting to itch from this mullet.
Nice, nice wrap up. We've got so much to do during this off season. You've all been talking about it during the course of the chat. We'll be here every day talking about it with you. We appreciate you being here. And like I say, we'll be here every day this week, 1 o'clock, maybe a guest later in the week. And certainly we expect to have some news this week as well. That's all coming up on future episodes of the DLLS Rangers podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.